The rain pounded the streets of Chicago like an unrelenting accusation, soaking through Marcus's thin jacket as he huddled in the alley behind Le Petit Bistro. At 16, he had learned that hunger wasn't just a growl in his stomach. It was a thief that stole his pride, his dreams, his very will to keep going. But that night, as he rummaged through the dumpster for scraps, a door creaked open, and a man with kind eyes and flour-dusted hands stepped out, holding a steaming plate that smelled like heaven. "Here, kid," the man said, his voice steady but laced with concern. "No one should go hungry on a night like this." Marcus froze, suspicion warring with desperation in his chest. Why would a stranger care? But as he took the plate, devouring the warm pasta with shaky hands, he felt a flicker of something foreign. Trust. That man was Quinn Rivera, a 32-year-old chef who had built Le Petit Bistro from the ashes of his own broken life. Quinn had come out as gay in a small Midwest town where acceptance was as rare as a perfect soufflé, facing rejection from his family that left scars deeper than any kitchen burn. Now, in the anonymity of the city, he poured his heart into his food, but seeing Marcus skinny, defiant, with eyes that mirrored his own youthful pain, stirred an instinct he couldn't ignore. Why this boy? Quinn wondered silently, watching him eat. Was it pity, or something more paternal, a chance to fix what had been broken in himself? Over the next few weeks, Marcus returned to the alley, drawn not just by the food, but by Quinn's quiet conversations. "You don't have to live like this," Quinn would say, slipping him a sandwich or soup. Marcus, kicked out by parents who couldn't accept his budding realization that he liked boys, not girls, harbored a storm inside. Anger at the world, fear of vulnerability. Each meal chipped away at his walls, but he questioned Quinn's motives endlessly. Is he just another adult pretending to care? Or worse, does he want something in return? The thought twisted in his gut, making every bite bittersweet. One evening, as thunder rumbled overhead, Quinn invited him inside the empty kitchen after closing. "Sit," he said, plating a simple omelet. Marcus hesitated at the door, heart pounding. Trusting meant risking betrayal again. But he stepped in, and as they talked, Quinn shared fragments of his story. The disownment, the loneliness, the fight to build a life where he could be himself. Marcus listened, his own secrets bubbling up. "My folks, they found out about me," he muttered finally, staring at his plate. Quinn nodded, no judgment in his eyes. "I get it. It hurts like hell, but you're not alone." In those moments, Quinn wrestled with his own doubts. Am I overstepping? He's just a kid, vulnerable, lost. But the pull was undeniable. Helping Marcus felt like redeeming his past self. Society's whispers echoed in his mind. A gay man aiding a homeless teen. People would assume the worst, twist kindness into scandal. Yet he pushed on, offering not just food but advice on shelters, jobs. Marcus, torn between gratitude and suspicion, began to see Quinn as a lifeline, but the inner conflict raged. If I let him in, what if he leaves like everyone else? As months passed, their bond deepened subtly. Quinn taught Marcus basic kitchen skills during off hours, showing him how to chop onions without tears, how to season with intention. "Food is love," Quinn said once, his voice soft. Marcus absorbed it, feeling a warmth that scared him. Affection for this man who asked nothing. But late at night, alone in the shelter, Marcus's thoughts spiraled. Is this what family feels like? Or am I fooling myself? Setting up for more pain? One day, Marcus vanished. Quinn waited in the alley, plate in hand, but the boy didn't show. Panic gripped him. Had something happened? He searched nearby streets, his mind racing with worst-case scenarios. Arrest, harm, or simply running away. The emptiness hit hard. He'd grown attached without realizing. Why does it hurt so much? Quinn questioned himself, staring at the empty spot. It felt like losing a piece of his heart he hadn't known was missing. Years blurred by. Quinn rose in the culinary world, opening a second restaurant, but the memory of Marcus lingered like a ghost. He dated sporadically, but relationships faltered, trust issues from his past, amplified by that unresolved loss. Did I fail him? The question haunted his quiet moments, a quiet ache in his successful life. Then, one crisp autumn day, an envelope arrived at Le Petit Bistro, elegant script on thick paper, an invitation to a luxury wedding in New York. The groom's name? Marcus Hale. Quinn's breath caught. His Marcus? Joy surged, mixed with confusion. Why now, after all this time? He RSVP'd yes, his heart a whirlwind of anticipation and unresolved emotions. The flight to New York felt eternal, each mile stirring deeper turmoil in Quinn's chest. He stared out the window at the clouds below, replaying every interaction with Marcus in his mind. Had he done enough? Or too much? The invitation had no personal note, just formal details of a black-tie affair at a Manhattan penthouse. Quinn wondered if Marcus even remembered him as more than a fleeting helper. Perhaps this was mere politeness, a nod to an old debt. But deep down, a hope flickered. Maybe this was closure, or even reconnection. Arriving at the venue, Quinn adjusted his tuxedo, feeling out of place among the glittering crowd. Crystal chandeliers cast warm light over guests in designer gowns and suits, laughter echoing like distant thunder. He scanned the room, heart racing. There, by the bar, stood Marcus. No longer the scrawny teen, but a tall, poised man in his mid-20s, with sharp features and a confident smile. Their eyes met, and Marcus's face lit up, crossing the room with purposeful strides. "Quinn," Marcus said, voice deeper but warm, pulling him into a brief hug. The contact sent a jolt through Quinn, familiar yet strange, stirring emotions he'd buried. "You came. I wasn't sure you would." Quinn pulled back, studying him. "How could I not? Look at you. Successful, about to marry." Marcus chuckled, but his eyes held a shadow. "Yeah, about that. Come. Let's talk somewhere quiet." They stepped onto a balcony overlooking the city skyline, the hum of traffic below a stark reminder of their shared past streets. Marcus leaned on the railing, exhaling slowly. "I never thanked you properly. Those meals, those talks, they saved me." Quinn waved it off, but inside, relief washed over him. Yet questions burned. Why disappear? What happened after? Marcus seemed to read his mind. "After you helped me get into that youth program, I turned things around. Got my GED, went to college on scholarships. Now I'm a lawyer, fighting for LGBTQ rights." Pride swelled in Quinn, but so did a pang of loss. For the years missed, the bond interrupted. "I'm happy for you," he said sincerely, though his voice cracked slightly. Marcus turned to him, expression intense. "But there's more. The wedding. It's not what you think." Quinn's stomach twisted. What did that mean? Before he could ask, a voice called from inside. "Marcus, darling, they're ready for photos." A stunning woman in a white gown approached, linking arms with Marcus. "This is Elena, my fiancée," Marcus introduced, his smile tight. Quinn blinked, confusion hitting like a cold wave.
Fiancé?
But Marcus had confided in him years ago about his attractions. Had that changed? Or was this a facade? As Elena chatted politely, Quinn's mind raced. Is he straight now? Or hiding? The thought ignited inner conflict. He'd fought his whole life for authenticity, yet here was Marcus, seemingly conforming. During the ceremony, as vows were exchanged, Quinn sat in the pews, emotions churning. Happiness for Marcus clashed with disappointment. Why invite me to witness this if it's not who he truly is? At the reception, Marcus pulled him aside again. "I need to explain," he whispered urgently. Tears glistened in his eyes. "Elena and I, it's arranged, sort of. Her family is powerful. Mine needed the alliance for business. But Quinn, I'm still me, gay through and through. This is for show, to protect my career in conservative circles." The revelation struck Quinn like a knife. Anger flared. How could Marcus compromise like this? After all they'd shared about living truthfully? "You deserve better," Quinn said, voice low but fierce. Marcus's face crumpled. "Do I? In this world, coming out fully could ruin everything I've built. You of all people know the risks." Quinn did know the job losses, the slurs, the isolation. Yet it hurt to see Marcus trapped in the same cage he'd escaped. Inside, Quinn grappled. Should I push him to be brave or respect his choice? The night wore on, toasts ringing out, but Quinn's heart ached with unspoken words. As guests danced, Marcus confided more. The pressure from Elena's influential family, the fear of losing clients if his orientation leaked. It's not forever, he insisted, but doubt laced his tone. Quinn listened, his own past resurfacing, memories of hiding, of pain. Empathy warred with frustration. You're stronger than this, he thought. Why settle for a lie? The wedding after-party spilled into the early hours, but Quinn couldn't shake the heaviness in his chest. Watching Marcus mingle with Elena on his arm, laughter forced, amplified his inner storm. How had the boy he'd helped become this man, chained by societal expectations? Quinn retreated to a quiet corner, nursing a drink, his thoughts a torrent. I've lived openly, faced the backlash. Lost family, friends, but gained freedom. Is Marcus's path cowardice or survival? The question gnawed at him, stirring old wounds. Marcus found him there, slipping away from the crowd. You look like you're judging me, he said softly, sitting close. Quinn met his gaze, honesty spilling out. Not judging, just worried. Remember our talks? About being true to yourself. Marcus nodded, eyes downcast. I do. But things changed. Law school, the firm, it's cutthroat. One whisper about my past, and poof, opportunities vanish. His voice trembled, revealing cracks in his facade. Quinn felt a surge of protectiveness, mixed with sorrow. This isn't the ending I imagined for you. As they talked deeper, Marcus unraveled his story. After leaving Chicago, he'd suppressed his identity to fit in, dated women briefly, buried attractions. It was easier, he admitted, shame coloring his words. But meeting Elena, her family offered security. The wedding seals deals, opens doors. Quinn's heart twisted. It sounded like a transaction, not love. And your happiness? He pressed gently. Marcus hesitated, then whispered. Sometimes I lie awake, wondering if I made a mistake. Seeing you here reminds me of who I was, who I am. The confession ignited Quinn's emotions further. He recalled his own turning point. Coming out publicly after a failed relationship, enduring the storm but emerging stronger. I lost everything once, Quinn shared, voice thick. But I gained myself. You can too. Marcus's eyes filled with tears. What if I can't? What if this is the price for success? The vulnerability hit Quinn hard. Here was the boy again, scared, seeking guidance. But now, as equals, the dynamic shifted, stirring deeper feelings. Admiration, perhaps even unspoken affection. Society's shadows loomed in Quinn's mind. The discrimination in corporate America, the political battles over gay rights. Marcus's choice sparked controversy in his thoughts. Was it betrayal to the community, or pragmatic adaptation? People will talk, Quinn said. Inviting me here? Does Elena know about us? Marcus shook his head. No, she thinks you're an old mentor. But I needed you to see, to understand. The words hung heavy, laden with implication. Quinn wondered, is this a cry for help, or justification? As dawn approached, Marcus led him to a private lounge. There's something else, he said, voice breaking. These years, I've thought about you constantly. You weren't just a chef, you were my savior. And maybe, more. The admission hung in the air, electric. Quinn's pulse quickened. Had he felt it too, that subtle pull? But timing, circumstances, everything wrong. Marcus, he began, conflicted. Inside, turmoil raged. Respond honestly, risk complicating his life further? Or pull back, preserve the mentor role? They parted with a lingering embrace, promises to stay in touch. Back in his hotel, Quinn lay awake, emotions intensifying. Regret for not pushing harder mingled with understanding. Life's choices aren't black and white. Marcus's revelation forced him to confront his own compromises. The safe dates, the avoided risks. Am I truly free, or just luckier? The night deepened his empathy, but also his resolve to fight for authenticity. Days after the wedding, Quinn returned to Chicago, but the encounter haunted him like an unfinished recipe. Bitter notes unresolved. Emails from Marcus arrived sporadically. Updates on honeymoon pretense, work triumphs. Each message stirred a whirlwind in Quinn. Joy at reconnection, pain at the charade. Why did I let him go through with it? He berated himself. Inner monologues consumed his quiet kitchen hours. You're older, wiser, should have intervened. But intervention meant imposing his values, risking alienation. One evening, Marcus called unexpectedly. I can't stop thinking about our talk, he said, voice strained. Elena's family is pushing for kids soon. It feels wrong. Quinn's heart ached. The pressure was mounting. Then don't, he urged, emotion rising. Come out, Marcus. Live your truth. Silence stretched. Then Marcus whispered, what if I lose everything? My firm defends queer clients, irony, right? But personally, it's taboo. The hypocrisy fueled Quinn's frustration. How can you fight for others while hiding yourself? Their conversations grew frequent, laced with tension. Marcus confessed deeper struggles. Suppressed desires, guilt over deceiving Elena. She's kind, but it's not love, not like. He trailed off, leaving Quinn to wonder. Like what? Like us? The unspoken bond intensified Quinn's feelings. Protectiveness evolving into something tender, forbidden by their history. He questioned his motives. Am I helping or hoping for more? The conflict tore at him, nights filled with what-ifs. Society's conflicts amplified the drama. News of anti-gay legislation in the U.S. sparked debates in their calls. See? This is why I hide, Marcus argued. Quinn countered fiercely. Hiding perpetuates it. We need visibility. Marcus's voice cracked. Easy for you to say. You're established. I'm still climbing. The arguments exposed raw vulnerabilities, each word a step toward confrontation. Quinn felt the weight. Pushing too hard could break their fragile reconnection. Then, a bombshell. Marcus revealed Elena suspected something. She found old photos from Chicago. Asked about you. Panic edged his tone. Quinn's mind raced. Exposure could unravel everything. Tell her the truth, he advised, though fear gripped him too. What if it backfires, drags me in? Marcus hesitated. I can't. Not yet. The indecision fueled Quinn's inner storm. He's trapped in a web of his own making. Empathy clashed with impatience. How long can I watch this? As weeks turned to months, Marcus's messages grew desperate. I dream of leaving it all, he admitted one night. Starting over, maybe with someone who understands. The implication hung heavy, stirring Quinn's heart. Affection bloomed undeniably now, complicated by years and roles. Do I feel the same? He pondered endlessly. Yes, but admitting it risks everything. The emotional depth overwhelmed him. Tears shed in solitude. A turning point came during a heated call. You're living a lie. Quinn exploded, regret instant. Marcus fired back. And you're alone because you won't compromise. The words stung, unearthing Quinn's loneliness. Silence followed, then apologies, but the rift deepened feelings, pain sharpening into clarity. To care too much, Quinn realized. This isn't just mentorship anymore. The crisis peaked when Marcus arrived unannounced in Chicago, bags in hand, face etched with exhaustion. I left her, he said at Quinn's door, voice breaking. Shock coursed through Quinn, relief, fear, overwhelming joy. What happened? He asked, pulling him inside. Marcus collapsed on the couch, tears flowing. Elena confronted me. I told her everything. About my orientation. About you. She understood, but it's over. Divorce papers started. Quinn's emotions surged like a tidal wave. Pride in Marcus's bravery, terror at the fallout. Your career, he whispered. Marcus shrugged, eyes red. Screwed, probably. But for the first time, I feel free. The confession unlocked Quinn's floodgates. He hugged Marcus tightly, whispering, I'm proud of you. But inside, turmoil raged harder. Now what? Our bond, Paternal? Friendly? Or romantic? The ambiguity tortured him. As days unfolded, Marcus stayed, navigating the chaos. Lawsuits from Elena's family loomed. Media whispers of a scandalous split. Society's judgment hit full force. Tabloids painted Marcus as deceitful, Quinn as the mysterious mentor involved. Quinn's restaurant faced boycotts from conservative patrons, amplifying his inner conflict. Why drag me into this? He thought bitterly, then guiltily. But no, I chose to help. The backlash tested his resolve, nights filled with doubt. Was it worth it? Their proximity intensified everything. Shared meals evoked old memories, but now laced with tension. Marcus confessed, "You were my first real crush, Quinn. Back then, I didn't understand." The words shattered barriers, forcing Quinn to confront his feelings. "I felt it too," he admitted finally, heart pounding. "But you were a kid, I couldn't." Now, as adults, the possibility dangled, controversial in its origins. A relationship born from age gap sparking debates. Yet they navigated carefully, focusing on healing. Marcus fought legal battles. Quinn supported silently, their bond deepening through adversity. Emotions peaked in quiet moments. Marcus's breakdowns over lost friends, Quinn's reassurances hiding his own fears. "What if we're wrong?" Marcus whispered one night. Quinn held him. "We're not. This is real." But doubts lingered. Society's eyes judged harshly, questioning motives. In the end, as dust settled, Marcus rebuilt. New job at a progressive firm, open about his life. Quinn's business recovered, strengthened by loyalty from allies. Their relationship evolved slowly, a quiet romance defying odds. But questions remained, echoing in Quinn's mind. Did kindness lead to love, or complicate it? Was Marcus's decision to come out ultimately the right one, despite the initial deception and pain it caused?